Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the Dev Sports Cards Xfinity Series tonight. These Xfinity cars will be taking on the high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway for 150 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight, Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I'm excited to call all the high-intensity action here for the Volunteer 80. There's a lot on the line tonight because tonight is the first event of the round of 12 and the first event of the third annual SCSRA playoffs. To end the season, we raced at the end the regular season. We raced at Auto Club Speedway, and Clint Stone ended up winning the regular season finale. He started on the pole and dominated the race, leading 79 of the 85 laps. Brian Newty ended up finishing second, and he led one lap. Third was Will Witt. Finishing fourth was Devin Butchino, and rounding at your top five was Kyle Mays. The only other driver that led laps during the race was Todd Mays, who led five, and Todd ended up finishing seventh. So now, after 10 regular season races, this is how the playoff standings look. Heading into the round of 12, I do want to shout out some of the drivers that have had really successful seasons but ended up falling short. Josh Hall, Joe Wright, David Hartney, Brian Merle Jr., and Michael Lawrence are some honorable mentions of drivers that had good seasons but came just short of making the playoffs. So here we go. We see Devin Butchino leads the playoff standings with 1,024 points. He has a 3-point lead over second place Clint Stone. Third is Blake Kinsley, who has acquired 16 bonus points. Fourth is Colin Willems, who has acquired 13 bonus points. Fifth is Brian Newty. He has acquired 11th bonus points. Now, these three, they are above the cutoff line coming into this first race, but they are in danger of falling behind. They are right above the cutoff line. Cody Moore, Will Witt, Kyle Mays, all in danger of falling below the cutoff line. And then the four drivers who are below the cutoff line, they're in danger of getting eliminated, but are trying to get above the cutoff line in the round of 12. That is Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Derek Chaput, and Brett Merle. So there you go. Those are your round of 12 drivers. We will go from a round of 12 to a round of 8, and then, of course, the final four will duke it out during the season finale at Michigan. And we're going to have, so the round of 12 will comprise of tonight's event at Bristol, and then next week's race at Kansas. Then the round of 12, the opening race in the round of 12 will be Charlotte. And then the finale before the championship will be at Talladega. And then the championship race will be at Michigan. I also want to talk a little bit about the current team standings. Wasted Wages Racing heading into the playoffs. They lead the team standings by 98 points over CCM. Wasted Wages has 2 wins this season, both of them coming from Colin Willems. Second in the team standings is CCM, who's only 98 points behind Wasted Wages. CCM, they have 2 drivers with wins this season. Blake Kinsley, he has grabbed 2 wins throughout this season, and Brian Newty has 1 win this season. Third in the team standings is Neon Racing, and Neon Racing has 3 wins this season, all coming from Devin Butchino. Fourth in the team standings is the Mays Mafia Racing. They have 3 wins this season, all of them coming from Clint Stone. Fifth in the team standings is 2 Pedals 1 Clutch. They have not been able to break into the win column, but they do have a playoff driver this season. Michael Provolt is starting the playoffs in 10th. And so he has been able to make it into the round of 12. And lastly, the team in 6th is Intensity DBC Racing. Nobody from Intensity DBC has made the playoffs, but Josh Hall, one of their drivers, was right on the cusp of making it. He ended up finishing 13th, and he just barely missed it. So that is your team standings, your point standings, and last week's results. See Wes Frank Norman on Facebook. He says, get it, David Hartney. David looked very, very fast in practice, and in qualifying, we see he is able to get to the top of the board with a 15.36, putting him a 10th ahead of second place Michael Provolt. We see Mark Shavers is able to get to third with a 15.54, putting him about 2/10 behind first place David Hartney. Now, I will say this, if you are looking for where our playoff drivers are at, where our round of 12 drivers are at, their names will be highlighted, and their names will be in black, and they will have a lime green box around their names. So you see kind of how Cody Moore looks, how Michael Provolt looks, and Derek Chaput. Those are what the playoff drivers' name tags will look like on the tower. We see Cody Moore is able to get to the top of the board with a 15.10, putting him 2/10 ahead of second place David Hartney. Michael Provolt is able to get to third with a 15.46. As I say that, Eddie Morris runs a 15.24, putting him in the second place position. Eddie is a 10th off of first place Cody Moore. There's Blake Kinsley in the 88 machine. He's able to get to second on his first lap with a 15.515. That will put him 400ths behind first place Cody Moore. We see Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence coming to a stop after he turned both of his laps. Derek Chaput on track right now in that 37 machine. Chaput, one of our drivers that is below the cutoff line heading into the opening round. So these two races at Bristol and Kansas, he's got to try everything in his power to have good finishes so he can advance to the next round. There's Joe Wright in the 82 machine on track right now. Joe barely missed the playoffs. At this moment, he sits 14th in the point standings. There's Devin Butchino in the 68 machine exiting the pits, trying to get win number 4 here tonight at Bristol, and that will make him the leader in wins this season. Right now, he is tied with Clint Stone for most wins this season, both of them with 3 apiece. Devin Butchino, not really known for his short track racing. Let's see if he can prove us wrong here tonight at Bristol. Brett Merle in the 11 machine on track right now. I do want to take this time to thank league sponsor Dev Sports Cards for all of their support of this league. Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Butchino. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs. From football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon, Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items, from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. Don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package them up, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback. You can also find Dev Sports Cards on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. So thank you once again to Dev Sports Cards for all of their support, and good luck to owner Devin Butchino here tonight as he is going to try to advance to the round of 8. Intensity Broadcasting is proud to be partnered with Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing and gaming hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Again, thebuttkicker.com is the website to check out the established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. I love my Butt Kicker. I use it in all the official races and all the league races I run, and it is very, very helpful, and it makes for a very, very immersive experience. As soon as I got that Butt Kicker, it was the closest I had ever felt on iRacing to real life. You can feel every rumble strip when you hit the wall, every gear change. You can even kind of feel your tires spinning. So it really helps to know if you're burning up the tires or not. There's a lot of benefits to Butt Kicker. And of course, it just makes for a very, very accurate experience. So definitely consider getting a Butt Kicker at thebuttkicker.com. Top three remains the same. Cody Moore, Blake Kinsley, and Eddie Morris. They are your top three. We've got Brian Newty on track in the 28 machine. Brian Newty, one of our playoff drivers. Looking to try to get a win here tonight and punch his ticket into the round of 12. We see Clint Stone is able to get to third with a 15.22. So far this season, there's been... Oh, we see Brian Newty able to get to third with a 15.20. That will put Brian Newty about a 10th off of first place Cody Moore. It seemed recently that there's three things guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and Clint Stone starting on the pole. But it looks like Clint Stone's streak of dominance may come to an end, as he's completed both of his laps and he is not sitting in that first place position. Do want to quickly talk about the keys to the race tonight. First of all, this track is absolutely brutal on the right front tire because of the banking. So drivers, all throughout their runs, they need to be very, very careful with those tires so that they can last as long as possible. The top line here at Bristol is better, so you're going to notice that it is going to be extremely hard to pass because the top is the preferred groove. So look to see drivers take, maybe 5 or 10 laps to set up a pass on somebody. If it's for like a top position, it's a tough pass because you really have got to think about your passes because it is very, very, very hard to pass here at Bristol. And lastly, these drivers have got to be aware of the short track shenanigans that I am pretty sure are going to ensue all throughout tonight. All the drivers throughout the field are going to need to be alert every single lap of if there is ever a caution. I know the corners, they're extremely hard to see the straightaways. So hopefully these drivers have a really good spotter so that they know exactly when a wreck happens. So again, that's my keys to the race. Saving tires, taking your time and setting up your passes, and being alert so you will be able to avoid all of the short track shenanigans that ensue. All right, we are now gridding for tonight's feature event. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 15.104. This is Cody Moore's second pole of the season. Cody Moore starting on the pole in the 52 Wasted Wages Racing Machine. Outside of him, it's CCM's Blake Kinsley in the 88 machine. Third, we have Blake's CCM teammate Brian Newty in the 28 machine starting third. Fourth is Clint Stone, and rounding at your top five, starting directly behind his teammate, it's Eddie Morse in the 8. Sixth, it's Wasted Wages Racing's Colin Willems. Seventh is Wasted Wages Racing's Will Witt in the 35 machine. 8th is Neon Racing's Devin Butchno in the 68. 9th is the Maze Mafia's Todd Mays in the 9. And rounding out your top 10, it is Intensity DBC Sim Racing's David Hartney in the 43. 11th is Neon Racing's Brett Merle in the 11. 12th is Two Pedals, One Clutch's Michael Proval in the 95. 13th is Josh Hall, Intensity Broadcasting Zone Josh Hall in the 81. 14th is Mark Shavers in the 6. And running at your top 15, it is Kyle Mays, driver for the Maze Mafia, in the 55. 16th is Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. 17th is Intensity Broadcasting Zone Joe Wright in the 82. 18th is Neon Racing's Brian Merle Jr. in the 74. And last but not least, driver for Wasted Wages Racing, and is the 37 of Derek Chaput. So here we go. The field is set. 19 drivers will be taking the track. Only one of them can win. The question is, who will that be? My prediction tonight is it'll be a very, very dominant night for Wasted Wages. I think Cody Moore, Will Witt, and Colin Willems all are going to be very, very successful tonight. Yeah, my main drivers to watch: pole sitter Cody Moore. And, I mean, it's pretty much, you never know who's going to win here at Bristol. Very unpredictable track. And it's going to be a long race. 150 laps. Let's see who can conquer the last great Coliseum. Cody Moore on the bottom. Blake Kinsley on the top. Pace car is in. Flagman will start this race. Green flag is out here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and the Volunteer 80 is underway. There's Cody Moore taking off. We see side by side for third between Brian Nudie and Clint Stone. Nudie with a little bit of a nose over Stone. And oh, we see Blake Kinsley getting down onto the apron. I am not sure what happened to Blake Kinsley. Blake Kinsley is into the pits. He started this race in second. Cody Moore is pulling in. What in the world is going on? What looks like something happened between, and yellow flag is out. Craziness already ensuing here. And it's now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind to see exactly what happened. Really confused here. So here we are, side by side, heading off of turn number 4. Looks like just heading off the corner. Shavers just gets loose and comes down the track right into Brett Merle. He slides across his nose, and he is hard into the inside safer barrier. Oh, and he makes contact with Brian Merle Jr. there. Joe Wright is involved. See, Blake Kinsley gets involved. Derek Chaput gets involved. So, already, Bristol has gotten its first victim in Mark Shavers. We see Joe Wright heading into the pits, getting some damage fixed. We already have 2 cars a lap down. Mark Shavers and Cody Moore. I'm still not entirely sure what happened to Cody Moore. I mean, I don't think he got charged with jumping the start or anything. Yeah, I'm just as perplexed as you, the viewer. Yeah, he started on the pole. Yeah, very confused. So with both of our front row starters having to come into the pits for unknown reasons, that will put Brian Nudie in the lead now here at Bristol. We see Clint Stone sits second, Colin Williams third, Devin Butchno fourth, and Eddie Morris fifth. And that short green flag run that we had. See, Brian Merle Jr. has already gained 12 spots, even after getting involved in that most recent incident. Merle Jr., he started in the 18th position. And he has since worked his way into the top 15. Keep your eye out on that 74 machine as he is trying to have a good top 10 run here tonight. Brian Merle Jr. is not one of our round of 12 drivers, so he really doesn't have much to lose here tonight. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out here at Bristol Motor Speedway. There is Brian Nudie taking off. Great restart on the bottom for Colin Williams. He's got the nose over Clint Stone as we head on to the backstretch. But Clint Stone fighting back on the outside. Remember, Bristol a multi-groove racetrack. And Clint Stone is able to get clear, and he is back to the second place position. Clint Stone now trying to get by Brian Nudie for that first place spot. Yeah, like I mentioned, Bristol notorious for being a multi-groove racetrack. You can run up against the wall. You can run up against the bottom. And a lot of times, running up against the wall later in the run is the way to go. Actually, no, a lot of drivers choose not to run against the wall because you have to turn the wheel more and it burns off the tires more. So I don't know. It's up to the driver. Earlier on, running up against the wall is the faster lane, and it makes passing very difficult. We see Clint Stone just ran the fastest lap. Colin Williams there just ran the fastest lap down the race with a 15.21. Colin Williams currently runs in the fourth place position. Big run there off of 4 for Clint Stone, trying to get by Brian Nudie for this first place position. That time by Stone. There he is, looking low, heading into 3 and 4. They are side by side. We see Clint Stone getting loose. That costs him some needed momentum, and he is going to fall behind from Brian Nudie. And that might also cost him the second place position, as there's Devin Butchno looking low under the 99. But he can't quite make a bid to get under him, so Clint Stone, he will remain in the second place position. Colin Williams all over the back bumper of Devin Butchno for third. Williams looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass. Big run off of 4 for the 17 machine. The door is open. Colin Williams trying his best, and the caution flag is out here at Bristol. We're getting the wreck up here. We're watching Michael Lawrence heading into turns 3 and 4. And looks like Lawrence just gets loose off of 4, and he is hard into the outside wall. And then, ooh, hard into the inside wall, the inside safer barrier for Cheeseburger. So Bristol already taking 2 victims, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence and Cody Moore. Luckily, Cheeseburger did not go a lap down. We see Cody Moore is 2 laps down. Luckily, he is now in the free pass position, so Cody hoping for a caution. It's now time for the Marco's Pizza Driver Spotlight of the Week. Where we are going to talk about one of our drivers. So the driver that we are going to be talking about tonight, if we have enough time, our first driver we're going to be talking about is Joe Wright. Joe Wright is the eldest, wisest, more aggressive, better looking, and angrier of the Wright brothers. He has been on iRacing going on 12 years. He grew up in upstate New York and went to the Glen every year. He camped in turn 11. He is 39, married with 2 daughters, ages 13 and 10. He retired after 20 years of service in the U.S. Coast Guard last year, and he works in cybersecurity. He is the co-founder and announcer for Intensity Broadcasting. Josh Hall was one of the first people he met on iRacing, and to this day, both of them can be found dominating super speedway races. He loves to coach soccer in his free time, and Joe is always commonly seen at Langley Speedway, helping me out at the racetrack or going to support me at Langley Speedway. And he loves going to lots of NASCAR races. He's been to the Glen, Talladega, and Bristol this year. Joe Wright will be restarting 11th here. Brian Nudie, he will elect to restart on the outside, so Clint Stone will be below him. I mean, it makes sense considering the outside is the preferred lane here at Bristol. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out here at Bristol. There is Brian Nudie taking off side by side for second. We see Clint Stone with the nose heading into turns 3 and 4, but Colin Willems ripping that high side. He has a great run on the backstretch and heading into turns 3 and 4. Willems with the nose heading off of turn number 4. He is almost clear, but we see Clint Stone fighting back on the bottom. Colin Willems trying to get clear, but Clint Stone putting up quite the fight on the bottom. And there we go. Colin Willems is now clear. Colin Willems to the second place position. He is now setting his sights on your first place driver, Brian Nudie. As I say that, here comes Clint Stone once again trying to look low under Colin Willems, but Colin Willems is clear, and now he is going to set his sights on Brian Nudie. Brian Nudie, Colin Willems' former teammate. But Clint Stone, every lap peaking low under Colin Willems for that second place position. Yellow flag is out here at Bristol. It is now time for the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. If you are considering grabbing some pizza, ditch some of the other brands like Pizza Hut and Domino's and go with Marco's Pizza. I actually just had Marco's Pizza last Saturday. It was delicious. I had pepperoni, green pepper, pineapple. That's my combination. I know it's weird, but it's good. Go try it and go see if you have a Marco's Pizza location near you. So we're watching Brett Merle here on the outside. He's looking above Will Witt. He's got Joe Wright behind him. And this does not seem to be the incident. We'll watch it from another perspective. Here is Cheeseburger. Ah! This happens in front of him. We're watching this here. Josh Hall side by side with Blake Kinsley heading off of 4. And Josh pushes up the track, hits the outside wall, and comes down right into Blake Kinsley. They both get sideways. Todd May's nowhere to go. See Chaput getting involved. See Josh Hall flipping through the air. Wow. Barrel rolls for the 81 machine. Big crash for short track standards right there. So Josh Hall had to tow to the pits. Has to get all of that damage fixed. He's looking more like a modified than a Xfinity car. You see Blake Kinsley entering the pits as well. Blake Kinsley on the lead lap. I believe he still has some damage that needs to be fixed that might be affecting him aerodynamically. Bristol Motor Speedway bills itself as the world's fastest half mile, and despite straightaways barely 200 yards long, it is a very fast racetrack. The secret is in the variable banking and the 300-yard wide-open corners. You may not have much room to accelerate off one corner before shutting down for the next, but with steep banking, up to 30 degrees, there's not much loss of speed when you get there, and the all-concrete racing surface provides great traction. We'll talk a little bit more about Bristol later. We're getting ready to go back green here. Brian Newty will elect to restart on the outside. Former teammate Colin Williams will be restarting below him. Pace car is in. And green flag is back out here at Bristol. There is Brian Newty taking off. We see side by side for the third position between Clint Stone and Devin Butchino. And Colin Williams is looking low under Brian Newty for the lead as we head into turns 3 and 4. Brian Newty, though, with the preferred lane on the outside, he is able to get a good run through the corner, and he is going to stay in the first place position. Side by side for second, Clint Stone to the rear quarter panel of that 17 machine. Big run through 3 and 4 for that 19. He is right there, but again, Colin Williams, he has the preferred lane. Clint Stone is going to need to find a way to have a really, really good run on the bottom for him to get by the 17. It is extremely hard to pass right on the bottom of the track. Almost equal as they cross the start-finish line. Clint Stone with a little bit of a nose as they head off of turn number 2. Big run there, heading through turns 3 and 4, and he is able to get clear. Clint Stone now to second place. Colin Williams will fall to third. Colin Williams has the 68 machine of Devin Butchino all over his back bumper. Devin Butchino looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass. There he goes. He looks low heading into turns 3 and 4. He is able to get to the rear quarter panel of the 17 machine. And oh no! Colin Williams tags the outside wall, costing him valuable momentum. And the 68 is going to look low heading through turns and onto the backstretch. Butchino with the nose on the bottom of the track. Great run heading off of turn number 4. We see Williams with a little bit of a nose on the outside. Williams with the preferred lane here at Bristol. Side by side here on the backstretch. Clint Stone reeling in leader. Brian Newty, great run off of turn number 4 for that 99 machine, running right up against the wall. Clint Stone searching for his 4th win of the season, and he is trying to punch his ticket into the round of 8. Great run there off of turn number 2. He's got a ton of momentum coming up on Brian Nudie. We see Brian Nudie is leaving the outside exposed. Clint Stone right to his back bumper. He's going to look to the outside into turns 1 and 2. Lots of momentum off the corner, but he can't get a good run and he can't get side by side with that 28 machine. Clint Stone looking to see what Brian Nudie's doing, looking to see what his weak spots are. And the door is open, heading into turns 3 and 4. We see Clint Stone to the rear quarter panel making some contact. But it is not enough to get Nudie loose, so Brian Nudie will remain in the first place position. Clint Stone will continue to try to get by him. Clint Stone to the outside. He is to the rear quarter panel of the 28 machine. Here comes Stone. But we see Brian Nudie is back clear of Clint Stone. Oh, great run! We see Stone making contact with the back bumper of Brian Nudie, breaking him loose, but it is not enough to spin Nudie out. Nudie will stay in the first place position. Stone looking low under that 28 machine, and they've got lap traffic to deal with. That's Josh Hall. He gets out of the way. Clint Stone will continue to try to pick off your leader, Brian Nudie. Great run off turn number 2. He looks low there side by side heading through turns 3 and 4, but Nudie is able to get back clear of that 99 machine. Brian Nudie remains your leader here at Bristol at the moment, but he's got Clint Stone breathing down his neck. Clint Stone looking low, heading off of turn number 4, but he can't quite get under that 28 machine. Brian Nudie doing a fantastic job playing defense, and the caution flag is out here at Bristol. So here we go. We're side by side. Looks like Eddie Morris tags the outside wall. And it looks like Will Witt, actually, no, the two don't make contact there. Heading into 3 and 4, Witt and Morris remain side by side. I believe it happens. No. Oh, I think it might be the stage break. I believe it is the stage break. That is the purpose of the caution. So we had a bunch of takers onto pit road for the stage break. Let's see how everything played out. Looks like Todd Mays stayed out. He was the only driver that stayed out. The rest of the drivers, Brian Nudie, Clint Stone, Kyle Mays, Devin Butchno, Eddie Morris, Will Witt, Blake Kinsley, all of them ended up staying out. Cody Moore, he is into the pits now. I thought he would stay out. We see David Hartney, he came in. So pretty much the whole field came in except for Todd Mays. Todd Mays on 25 lap tires. Actually, no, he's not. He's on 55 lap tires. He has not came in for tires yet, I don't think. So I don't know. We will see how this plays out. Now, Bristol has 160,000 seats arrayed in grandstands all the way around the racing surface. Bristol looks more like a football stadium on steroids than a typical racetrack. Veteran drivers have described racing at this East Tennessee Speed Emporium as the equivalent of flying a fighter plane in a gymnasium. So it's not surprising that every NASCAR Cup Series race draws a massive crowd. Still, the best seat in the house is the one behind the wheel, but it's sure not a relaxing one, with laps at racing speeds ticking by at barely more than 15 seconds. Oh, and the compact nature of the track means that there are infield pits on both the front and rear straightaways, so drivers have that added complication to deal with. At the conclusion of a 500-lap NASCAR Cup Series race, not a single car makes it back to the garage without at least a few bumps, scrapes, or battle bruises, and the drivers aren't in much better shape. Getting ready to go back green here. Todd Mays will elect to restart on the outside. Green flag back out here at Bristol. There is Todd Mays taking off. We are side by side for second between Brian Newty and Kyle Mays. Kyle Mays with the advantage running on the outside. He is able to get to the rear quarter panel of Newty, but oh no! Brian Newty gets loose. He slides up right in front of Kyle Mays. He has a round on the front stretch. Big wreck on the front stretch. Caution is out here at Bristol. Fifth one of the night. We're going to take a look here at what happened with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Wow. Marco's Pizza has curbside pickup, delivery, and takeout. So definitely consider, next time you are thinking about grabbing some pizza, consider Marco's Pizza. They've got good quality pizza. Tastes like it came just from an Italian kitchen. So here's what happened. We're watching Brian Newty heading into 1 and 2, or excuse me, 3 and 4. He just gets extremely loose, and he just slides up right in front of Kyle Mays. And it looks like he had it saved, but then he goes around once more, heading off of 4, and he slides down the track right in front of Clint Stone. Clint Stone nowhere to go except for right into the 28 machine. We see Devin Bucciano gets hit by Clint Stone. Looks like nobody else was really involved there. So Brian Newty certainly got the brunt of the damage there. He is coming into the pits and taking his fast repair. We see Brian Merle Jr.'s in as well. So Todd Mays, he continues to stay out here at Bristol. He's got 60 lap tires. Todd Mays really gambling with his strategy. Now, Bristol opened for competition in 1961. Bristol Motor Speedway has had a number of remodelings over the years and several owners as well. It has been under its current owner, Speedway Motorsports, that Bristol Motor Speedway has enjoyed its greatest period of growth. The track hosts events for all 3 of NASCAR's National Series and the ARCA Menards Series, and as of 2021, once again, Bristol goes through a dirt makeover in the spring to welcome World of Outlaws events, as well as the Cup Series' only dirt race. I went to Bristol in 2016, and pictures and broadcasts and whatnot does not nearly describe and show the experience that you have at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is truly being at like a coliseum watching Roman gladiators duke it out. And I'm sure the best way that I could describe driving on it is like marbles, and seeing the cars drive around this place is like marbles rolling around a bowl. That's how much the banking is. Definitely if you're in the eastern Tennessee portion of the state, check out Bristol. Green flag is back out here at Bristol. There is Todd Mays taking off side by side for second. Here comes Eddie Morris on the outside. He is to the rear quarter panel of Kyle Mays as we head into turns 3 and 4. Wow, he is fast there coming off of turn number 4. He's got the nose on the front stretch. They remain side by side heading into turns 1 and 2. Can he get clear? And the caution flag is out here at Bristol. The 6th one of the night. All right, here is a look at what happened. Side by side between David Hartney and Will Witt heading into turns 1 and 2. And looks like Hartney just gets loose on entry. And we see makes contact and he just slides up right in front of Brett Merle. The two make contact. We see Brett Merle gets into the 11 machine. Joe Wright is patient, and he is able to get through it pretty unscathed. Oh, Mark Shavers right into the 43 machine. Glitches through him. We see the 17 and 47 of Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence and Colin Williams make contact. It is absolutely hectic on the backstretch. So Todd Mays remains your leader here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I think Todd Mays, he does have a little bit of home track advantage, I guess you could say. Todd Mays is from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. So I'm sure he is very familiar with Bristol. I'm actually not sure the distance between Soddy Daisy and Bristol. That's about 3 hours. But still, in the same state as Bristol Motor Speedway. So, home state track for Todd Mays. Actually, that's crazy. For those of you who don't know, Bristol, Tennessee, located in Bristol Motor Speedway is located in Bristol, Tennessee. Top 4, Todd Mays, Eddie Morris, Clint Stone, Kyle Mays, all of them are from Tennessee. Todd Mays from Soddy Daisy, Eddie Morris from Sevierville, Kyle Mays from Harrison, and Clint Stone is from Chattanooga. And then Blake Kinsley is from Monroe, Kentucky, which is very, very close to the Tennessee border. So the drivers who have ties here in the state of Tennessee or are located near the state of Tennessee, having a lot of success here tonight. The next driver that is in a state that isn't Tennessee or borders Tennessee is the 68 machine of Devin Bucciano, who currently will be restarting in 6th. Todd Mays takes off. Green flag back out here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Side by side for second between Clint Stone and Eddie Morris. And Clint Stone, fantastic run on the outside. And he is able to get clear of Eddie Morris as we head into turns 3 and 4. We see Clint Stone looking low under Todd Mays as we cross the start-finish line. Clint Stone, remember, he has fresher tires compared to Todd Mays. And so he should, yep, there we go. He is able to get clear. Clint Stone to the first place position. The battle is on now for second between Eddie Morris and Todd Mays. He is clear. Eddie Morris now to second. He will set his sights on your leader, Clint Stone, for the first place position. Two Tennesseans getting ready to battle it out for that first place position. Eddie Morris running that high side. He's got to go around lap traffic. Clint Stone. We see Kyle Mays trying to get up there to Devin Butchno for that third place position. We see Devin Butchno getting caught up a little bit by lap traffic, the 17 machine of Colin Willems. And we are halfway through this event here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And at this time, I'm going to turn up the volume. It is time to pump up the intensity. Here you'll get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack. Here we go. That will do it for Pump Up the Intensity. Hopefully you enjoyed us turning up the volume. We now set our sights back to the racing action. Clint Stone remains your leader. Eddie Morris remains in second, but maybe not for long. Devin Butchno breathing right down his neck. We see Butchno looking low, heading off of turn number 2. We see Eddie Morris extending that gap a little bit as we head through turns 3 and 4. Great run off the corner, though, for that 68 machine, getting closer and closer to the back bumper of the 8. Eddie Morris trying his best to hold off a hard-charging Devin Butchno. Last time by, they ran pretty much identical lap times. Devin Butchno looking to see what Eddie Morris is doing. He's kind of looking to see what Eddie's weak spots are. And, oh, speaking of weak spots, Eddie, we see, slips up a little bit, heading off of 4, and that is going to cost some momentum, opening the door for the 68 machine, side by side, heading into turns 3 and 4. We see Eddie Morris with a little bit of a nose onto the front stretch, and we see two drivers coming up on this battle. Blake Kinsley, Will Witt joining in on the fun, making this a 3-4 horse race. We see Blake Kinsley coming on the outside, the preferred lane. He is to the door. He is equal now with Devin Butchno for third. We see he falls back a little bit. Really, really tight racing going on right now. We see Butchno, good run as we head through turns 1 and 2 and on to the back stretch. And at the same time, trying to play defense, trying to hold off Will Witt and Blake Kinsley. We see Blake Kinsley tags the outside wall a little bit there, costing him some momentum. We see Will Witt looking low under Devin Butchno for the third place position. Heading off of 4. Devin Butchno with the nose. Good run off of 2 there for Will Witt. He's got the nose over Devin Butchno as we head into turns 3 and 4. They remain side by side here. Really, really tight battle for this third place position. Will Witt has the nose heading off of turn number 2. As you can see, we're really demonstrating here just how hard to pass, hard it is to pass here at Bristol. But there we go. Will Witt is clear of Devin Butchno, and he now tries to get by Eddie Morris for that second place position. Will Witt, last time by, despite being side by side with Devin Butchno, was faster than Eddie Morris, and he is clear. Will Witt now to second. Eddie Morris falls to third, and Eddie Morris has a hard-charging Blake Kinsley looking low under him here on the backstretch. Blake Kinsley with the nose as we head through turns 3 and 4. And Blake Kinsley is clear. Blake Kinsley now to third. We see Cody Moore fighting for the 4th place position. He is clear. Eddie Morris will fall to 5th. Cody Moore trying to reel in Blake Kinsley for that 3rd place position. Cody Moore with 2 lap fresher tires compared to Blake Kinsley. We'll see if that 2 laps is enough to help Cody Moore get by that 88 machine. Last time by, Cody was faster. We see he's to the rear quarter panel of the 88. Diving low as we head into turns 1 and 2. Side by side, heading off of the corner. We see Cody Moore giving Blake Kinsley the bumper, trying to push him up the track. But it actually got Cody Moore a little bit squirrely. Cody Moore gathering everything back up after getting a little bit loose off the corner there. We see Reginald Gill on Facebook says, "Boo, Nudie." Nudie has made a comeback after getting involved in an incident. He has made his way back up into the 5th place position. Battle is on for 3rd. Cody Moore getting right up to the back bumper of Blake Kinsley. These two have had history all throughout this season. They've had a huge rivalry. There we go. Cody Moore able to look low off of 4. He's got the nose heading into turns 1 and 2. Blake Kinsley fighting back on the outside. Side by side, they trade a little bit of paint. Neither driver giving one another an inch. And we see Todd Mays, a lap car, coming up on this battle. Todd Mays, he has fresher tires than both of them. He's trying to work his way up to the field, trying to get his lap back. And oh boy, a gaggle of lap cars. Blake Kinsley, Cody Moore coming up on them. Oh no! Cody Moore into the back bumper of Blake Kinsley, getting him loose. But what a save for the 88 machine. He is able to stay in the 3rd place position as here they go, heading through this gaggle of lap cars. Cody Moore getting right up to the back bumper of that 88 machine. Might try to use Derek Chaput as a pick here. We see Cody Moore getting right into the back bumper of Blake Kinsley. And oh, he sends Blake Kinsley heading into turn. Oh, he hits him again. He gets below him. Blake Kinsley sideways on the backstretch. The dump and run for Cody Moore. 7th caution of the race here at Bristol. Tempers flaring. Wow. This is some absolute craziness that we just saw there. I know Blake Kinsley is steaming mad right now. These two have just been going at it all throughout this season. They had made contact last night at Daytona, costing Blake Kinsley his race. We see Cody Moore just gets right into the rear quarter panel of Blake Kinsley, just breaking him loose, but Blake Kinsley trying his best to save it. It looks like he's going to have it saved, and then Cody Moore hits him again in 3 and 4. Getting the car very upset. We see the two make contact heading off of 4, and he gets loose right in front of Derek Chaput. Derek having had nothing to do with that. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. We see drivers making their way onto pit road. Michael Provolt, Eddie Morris, Colin Willems, Brian Merle Jr. I believe we had a few that came in. Clint Stone, he made a pit stop coming in and taking 4 tires. We saw Cody Moore come in and take 4 tires. Will Witt came in. Brian Nudie came in. Hartney came in. Butchino came in. The only driver that really stayed out was Joe Wright. He is currently on 40-lap tires. Joe Wright trying to do the Todd Mays strategy. Now, at this point of the race, here are my drivers to watch. Starting off, first driver I want to talk about is Cody Moore. Cody Moore currently runs in the 4th place position. He has been fast all race long, started on the pole, was very, very fast in practice. We know he's very, very good at short tracks. He won Season 1 at Richmond, and he won Season 2 at Martinsville. Cody Moore, though, he is searching for his first ever Bristol win. Will Witt has always been fantastic at Bristol, whether it's been on asphalt or dirt. He knows how to get it done, as he won here at Bristol in Season 2. He currently resides in the 4th place position. Another driver to keep your eye out on is Brian Nudi, who currently resides in the 5th place position. Nudi won at Richmond in Season 2 and is really, really good at tracks where you have to really hit your marks and there's lots of heavy braking. And lastly, another driver to keep your eye out on is Blake Hensley. Blake Hensley currently sits in the 9th place position, trying to work his way back up through the field after an incident. And lastly, I say watch out for Colin Willems. I know he's a lap down, but if he can get back onto the lead lap, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Lights on the pace car are off. We're getting ready to go back green here. Joe Wright restarting on the outside. Clint Stone below him. Green flag back out here at Bristol. There is Joe Wright taking off, but Clint Stone right with him as they go up through the gears. Clint Stone looking low under Wright, and he is able to get clear. Clint Stone to the lead here at the last Great Coliseum. We see Cody Moore looking low under Wright for second, and he is able to get clear. Cody Moore now to that 2nd place position. And Joe Wright just falling back. Those older tires not doing Joe well. We see Brian Nudi able to get to the 3rd place position. David Hartney coming up on Brian Nudi for 3rd. We haven't really said David's name too much throughout the night, but here he is up in the top 5 when it really matters. Clint Stone just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 15.18. Those fresh tires really helping Clint Stone right now. We see Devin Butchno reeling in Will Witt for that 5th place position. Both drivers on fresh tires, equal playing field for both of them. We see David Hartney continuing to try to reel in Brian Nudi for that 3rd place position. Great run off of 2 there for the 43 machine, trying to get within striking distance. David Hartney looking to see where Nudi's weak spots are. He's going to try to use that to advantage. For example, Nudi might be pushing up off of a certain corner or getting loose off of a certain corner. And if that's the case, Hartney is going to want to try to be his very best in the places where Nudi is at his very worst. We see a little slip up there for David Hartney, and that is going to open the door for Will Witt to look low under him. This is the battle for 4th. We see Will Witt to the rear quarter panel there, side by side as we head through turns 3 and 4 and on to the front stretch. David Hartney back clear of Will Witt. And he will continue to try to reel in Brian Nudi for that 3rd place position. Big run on the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2 for the 43. We see he loses Nudi a little bit though. And all of this is happening. He's trying to play defense and he's trying to hold off Will Witt, who is right behind him, breathing down his neck. David Hartney has not broken into the win column this season, has had a lot of bad luck and misfortune. But there's a chance that he could turn it around here tonight. He only has to pass 3 people, and he can get to the lead and potentially grab his first win of the season. And also, as long as David Hartney can hang around right where he is at, he can also grab his first top 5 of the season. There's a chance for that to happen. There they are going around lap traffic. Josh Hall We see Will Witt trying to look low under David Hartney for the 4th place position. We see drivers having to deal with lap traffic all throughout the track. Now, I do want to quickly take this time to talk a little bit about IntensityBroadcasting.com. IntensityBroadcasting.com is the home of merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, your favorite drivers, and all of your favorite leagues. We have all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise on there. Intensity Broadcasting shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, mouse pads, and polo shirts. I race in real life, and if you would like to support my real life racing and rock some awesome merchandise, check out all of my merchandise on the site. We've got At Luis Racing t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, hats, polo shirts, packable jackets, and beanies. We've also got a bunch of cool auto racing novelty t-shirts that you can pick up. Some of my favorites include the Cautions Breed Caution shirt. We also have a shirt that says Talk Less and Race More. We have a driver collection for young and up-and-coming Legends driver Carson Hayslip. Carson Hayslip is the driver of the number 08 Legend car with Dillon Spain Motorsports. He was the 2022 Wake County Track Champion and the 2022 U.S. Legends and INAX Summer Shootout Young Lions Champion. Carson is definitely a young and up-and-coming driver that you're going to want to keep track of. And if you want to support Carson's racing, you can pick up a Carson Hayslip hoodie. He's got t-shirts, long-sleeve t-shirts, polo shirts, hats, beanies, packable jackets, and fleece vests. And lastly, make sure to check out the SCSRA collection. There we've got SCSRA bubble-free stickers, that you can put on your personal vehicle or your race car. Comes in 3 different sizes, 3x3, 4x4, and 5.5 by 5.5. We've got SCSRA photo paper posters that you can hang up in your man cave or in your sim room. They come in sizes 10x10, 12x12, 12x16, 12x18, 14x14, 16x16, 16x20. And the caution flag is out here at Bristol. Eddie Morris has crashed. We're going to see what happened here. Side by side here, heading through turns 3 and 4. We got Hartney on the outside, Eddie on the inside. This is a playoff driver versus a non-playoff driver. And it looks like Hartney just pushes up off the corner into the outside wall. And he comes down the track right into Eddie Morris, sending Eddie hard into the inside safer barrier. Ooh, right at like the worst portion to hit. We see he comes up the track, makes contact with Devin Butchino, makes contact with Colin Willems. Big wreck there. See Devin Butchino, Eddie Morris in the pits getting that damage fixed. So with 18 laps to go, Clint Stone is your leader, searching for his 4th win of the season here tonight and trying to win at his home track. If Clint wins tonight's event, he will be the leader in wins for the SCSRA Xfinity Series this season. Listen up, SCSRA fans. If you want to support the SCSRA League, make sure to visit IntensityBroadcasting.com and pick up an SCSRA t-shirt. You might be wondering, is there only one color? No, there is not only one color. We have 5 different colors to choose from. Black, navy, red, sport gray, white. All of them look awesome. It's up to you to pick out which one you want. Now you might be wondering, there might be only small to large. No! We have sizes small to 5XL. So there are sizes for everybody. Although there's no youth sizes, there is adult sizes for absolutely everybody. So make sure to check it out and get your very own SCSRA t-shirt. It's time to talk about our second driver here for a driver bio. I think the driver that we are going to talk about here is Todd Mays. Todd Mays is best known as Uncle Todd, and he was dubbed that nickname by Colin Willems. He lives in the great town of Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, which was actually where Austin Dillon's wife is from. He's 53 years old and has been married longer than a lot of the drivers in this league have been alive for 27 years. He has 3 sons and 4 dogs, and he lives with his wife. His race team is the Mays Mafia, and most of its members also run a construction company in Chattanooga, Tennessee called Mays Construction. And we are getting ready to go back green here at Bristol. Clint Stone restarting on the bottom, Cody Moore restarting on the top. We will talk a bit more about Todd Mays later in the broadcast if we have time. Clint Stone restarting on the bottom. Cody Moore restarting on the top. Behind them, it is Brian Nudie and Will Witt. Green flag is back out here at Bristol. There is Clint Stone taking off side by side for second between 2 former teammates, Brian Nudie and Cody Moore. We see Cody Moore with the nose off of turn number 2, and he is able to get clear. Cody Moore now to second. He will be setting his sights on your first place driver, Clint Stone. But Brian Nudie, I don't believe he is through with Cody Moore. He is staying right on the back bumper of that 52 machine. And he is going to look low heading into turns 3 and 4. Nudie to the rear quarter panel. Cody Moore is going to stay clear as we head onto the front stretch and into turns 1 and 2. Side by side for third. Here comes Will Witt wrapping the outside. And he is clear. Will Witt now to third. Brian Nudie will fall to fourth, and Will Witt all over the back bumper of teammate Cody Moore for the second place spot. He will look low heading into turns 1 and 2. They are side by side. Cody Moore with a little bit of a nose, and he is clear. And the caution flag is out here at Bristol with 11 laps to go. Let's see what happened. We are side by side. It looks like heading into turns 3 and 4. Josh Hall just gets a little bit loose on entry. Tries his best to save it. And it looks like he does. Heading off of 4. But then heading off of 4, he just pushes way up the track, slamming Eddie Morrison to the wall. Josh and Eddie, 2 former teammates. And then Josh hard into the inside safer barrier, coming up the track right into Joe Wright. See Todd Mays getting damage. So we're going to have a shootout to finish tonight's event here at Bristol. Clint Stone remains your leader here. Greg Franklin says wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. It has been crazy racing all throughout tonight. The multi-groove racing that Bristol produces has been absolutely incredible to watch. And the best of the best have certainly risen to the top of the field throughout tonight. Anyway, continuing the driver bio for Todd Mays. And for our Marco's Pizza driver spotlight of the night. Todd Mays has been on iRacing since September of 2020. He started sim racing with a computer game called Bill Elliott's NASCAR Challenge, which was the beginning of iRacing from a company called Konami. He considers himself a Mark Martin / Dale Jarrett kind of driver. He's respectful if respected. He saves his stuff until the end if possible, other driver stupidity. If you are faster, he'll give you room, but you better do the same. His brother is Bobby, and his nephew is Kyle. And they are his teammates, along with the famous Marco's Pizza guy, Mark Shavers, who owns thousands of franchises across the world. Just kidding. He really just owns 2. He wasn't the first to SCSRA, but he got there pretty dang quick. This league would be perfect if it weren't for him. But they let me stay, and he loves them all because of it. So there you go. That is Todd Mays running at his home track here tonight at Bristol. Here we go. We are going to have a 5-lap shootout here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Leader Clint Stone will elect to restart on the bottom, which has not really been the norm tonight. Most drivers have been electing to restart on the bottom of the track. So that means Cody Moore will restart outside of him. And then behind them, it's Will Witt and Brian Nudie. Pace car is in. Green flag back out here at Bristol. There is Clint Stone taking off, but Cody Moore sticking right with him as they go up through the gears and heading on to the back straightaway. Cody Moore trying to find any sort of speed to get by that 99 machine and take the lead, but I don't think he can. We see Cody Moore falling a little bit behind, and he's got teammate Will Witt coming up on him for that second place position. Big run off of 2 there for Will Witt, getting closer and closer to the back bumper of that 52 machine. Right behind Will, breathing down his neck, is the 28 machine of Brian Nudie. So Will Witt playing offense and defense right now. We see Will Witt looks to the outside of Cody Moore, heading on to the back stretch, but Cody Moore will shut the door. Brian Nudie looking low under Will Witt. And 2 laps to go here. Will Witt looking low under Cody Moore for second place. Will Witt to the rear quarter panel. They are wheel-to-wheel down on the backstretch and heading into turns 3 and 4. Cody Moore able to get back clear. Nudie looking to the outside of Will Witt. Final lap. Clint Stone has dominated throughout this season as he heads onto the backstretch and coming through turns 3 and 4. Clint Stone will grab his 4th win of the season here tonight for the Volunteer 80 at Bristol Motor Speedway. Cody Moore will take second, and in a photo finish running on the outside, Brian Nudie will finish 3rd. What a race here at Bristol. At his home track, Clint Stone will grab his 4th win of the season. Clint Stone has been absolutely dominant week in and week out. He has started on the pole 6 times in 11 races, and he has won 3 of those races. Actually, no, make that 4. Clint Stone, he is competing for Rookie of the Year, and I'm very sure that he will win it. Only driver that he is competing against is Jake McCarty for the Rookie of the Year. And Jake has not participated in all the races, while Clint Stone has. I know all the Tennesseans watching tonight celebrating as Clint Stone picks up his 4th win of the season. It has been a great week for Tennessee. On Sunday, the Titans were able to beat the Indianapolis Colts, and now their driver, Blake Hensley, has picked up the win here tonight. It's now time to do the driver interview. Starting off, we are going to pull in your 3rd place finisher from Santa Rosa, California, the SCSRA Season 2 Truck Series champion, Brian Nudie. Brian, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. You have a copy.
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, great run here tonight at Bristol. I mean, you started in the top 3, and you were pretty much in contention for the win all throughout tonight's event, fighting for the lead. I mean, you were leading at one point and just had a really, really great car. But in the end, we saw Clint and Cody were a little bit faster than you there in that later stretch, but still very, very good performance here tonight at the last great Coliseum. I mean, what was your take?
Yeah, tonight's race was definitely crazy, full of a lot of ups and a lot of downs. Definitely big ups right at the get go. Was able to get the lead. Both lead cars jumped to start. Unfortunately, one of them was my teammate, but they got the penalty, so I was able to grasp the lead. Was able to lead the whole first stage, all the laps. Was able to get the stage win, so got that. That was good. Fun racing with Clint there. I think the only reason I was really like be able to win that stage is just because I was in front of him and he just couldn't really get around me. But he was a card beat tonight. Then after that stage, I pitted to get some tires, and I knew the guy I had to stay in front of was Clint. I think if I could stay in front of him, I thought I had a good shot at the win. I thought I was close enough in speed to where he might not have been able to get around me unless he roughed me up a little bit. So I definitely felt like trying to get in front of him was the way to go. And unfortunately, being too aggressive after that, spun out and had to go to the back of the pack. Was able to recover, went up a third place finish. So all in all, a great day. I've driven from after my recovery, but the guy who won the race, he deserved it. Mistake free.
Now, I know Bristol eats up that right front tire because of the high banking. What's the key to saving tires here at the high banks of Bristol?
I actually watched a YouTube video earlier today, and I was driving this track all wrong, all times on here. And actually, this was the first time I actually ever felt comfortable, and actually it felt good on a long run. I felt like on a long run, that was maybe the second fastest car out there. Again, nothing for Clint. He was class field all day, but definitely it felt like I was about the fifth or sixth fastest car on the short run, and then on the longer run, I felt like I was about the second. So happy. But yeah, definitely got to lift early and drag that brake. You don't want to use a lot of brakes, just want to use a little bit. A lot of brake, I'll spin you out. That's what I did earlier, and that's what cost me a chance to win.
And before I let you go, Brian, is there any sponsors or shout outs?
Oh, as always, I gotta thank my beautiful wife. She's having a blast out there in Florida right now, having some fun. I gotta thank you up in the booth, doing an awesome job. I gotta thank all my fellow admins, really helping everything kind of grow. Especially, definitely want to give it a shout out. Not to make everybody else a little bit lesser, but right now Devin Pacino is really kind of taking over the whole recruiting thing. We've got a lot. Truck Series next year is just going to be wild. Uh, we're going to have a definitely big full field, about 40 plus cars, but we got about 40 entries. So next season trucks is going to be an awesome thing to watch. And Xfinity, once those guys get going up from there, they get to Xfinity, it's going to be awesome. And then also I got to thank all my teammates, awesome job. And also, as always, I got to thank Gil's Dump Truck Service and Pizzeria, the fastest dump trucks in the Northwest.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Brian. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, thank you, you too.
Thank you. All right, let's now pull in your second place finisher from Cincinnati, Ohio, Cody Moore. Cody, this is Atlan in the broadcast room. You have a copy.
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, good run tonight. You had speed all session long, whether it was in qualifying or practice. And the race, you were very, very fast. I know we saw you had a jump in the start penalty early on, and that kind of put you behind, falling 2 laps down, but you're able to work your way back up to the field, and we saw you were eventually able to find yourself to the second place spot right behind Blake. I know we saw you two get into a little bit there, took tires, and after that, just trying to reel in Clint for the lead and hold off, Will and Brian, but in the end, you couldn't quite catch Clint, but still really, really fast Xfinity car all throughout tonight, showing us why you're one of the best short track racers here in the SCSRA. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. The beginning was pretty disappointing there. I had to kind of reset my mind, regroup, and just realize that there's cautions. And yeah, luckily I was able to get some lucky dogs and get back on the lead lap there. And yeah, the rest of it was just kind of settling in. I had some damage, so I think it affected me. I didn't have anything for Clint. Probably, I don't know. It would have been interesting if I didn't have damage, but dude's really, really good here. So I'm really proud of the second place finish, and I'll take that for going into next week. I think we're at Kansas, so hopefully I can just point my way into the next round.
I know it's really, really hard to pass here at Bristol. What's the key to setting up and executing a pass here on the bottom, especially with how difficult it is?
Yeah, tonight was weird. I actually preferred the bottom all race. I thought that was a little faster. I know some guys were riding the top, but I think Clint was on the bottom. But the main thing on the bottom is just to get in, arc your corner as much as you can, and then real easy off, because if you spin them off, it's just going to ruin your run. And the other important thing is kind of like timing when you get back on the throttle, because if you get on too early, you're just going to be tight and push up into the guy on the outside. But yeah, it was. I thought this was a lot better than the past Bristol races in terms of passing.
Now, before we let you go, Cody, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, of course. I want to start off by thanking my beautiful wife, Maggie, my emotional support wife, Cassie, my 2 kids, Papa Moore watching at home, everyone at Wasted Wages. Again, huge win last night. That was all teamwork. And tonight I'm glad we all could get decent finishes. I know Colin had a really rough night, so hopefully he can bounce back next week. Got to thank Mick for the paints, intensity. Atlee, you killed it again. You do every time. And Brian Nudie and all the admins for running this league. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up tonight, Cody. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, Atlee.
No problem. And now, Tennesseans, get on your feet. The man from Chattanooga, Tennessee, with his 4th win of the season. It's the 99 of Clint Stone. Clint, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight here at Bristol. I know you didn't start on the pole tonight, but still had a great starting position and all throughout tonight's event. You were the class of the field, extremely fast all throughout the night, and eventually we saw late in the race after some pit stops at around lap 104, you were able to get by Joe Wright for the lead, and after that there was no looking back. I mean, even with Cody Moore by you on those late race restarts, I mean, you were able to hold him off, and you're just, again, the class of the field here tonight at Bristol. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event and on your win?
Bristol's probably one of my favorite on here. Probably have the most laps here of any track. So it's definitely one I was, had circled, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know. I missed qualifying. That was horrible. I was up in the middle of the turn 1, trying to figure out how to turn my car. But yeah, and then me and Udi had a good battle at the end. That first stage was a lot of fun, and I don't know. It's just I was trying to save a little tire, and still keep pace, and I guess it worked out. But yeah, getting the lead, I was able to, if I could stretch out some, I could save a little tire, and I think that's probably what kept me out there. And then those last restarts, you just gotta go and hope it sticks. And I think collectively I had more tire at the end there, and I think that's what got me away from those guys.
Now, how does it feel to win at a track located in your home state?
It's good. That's what I was saying. I really like this track. It's kind of tough. A lot of people don't like it. It's tough in a way. Like once you get it, like you get it, but it's hard to explain how to run it. I mean, you can just drive in and turn and go around, but it's like there's, I don't know, it's like a certain way you just drive it, and it just clicks here for me.
Gotcha. Well, before I let you go, Clint, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, all the Maze guys and Mark and then y'all for putting the broadcast on. I appreciate it.
We definitely had fun watching you perform well, like always, here tonight at Bristol. So again, congratulations on the win. Congratulations for locking yourself into the round of 8. Have a great rest of your night, Clint.
All right, you too. Appreciate it.
No problem. Well, there you go. One more time, congratulations to Clint Stone on picking up his 4th win of the season. And that's right, folks. Clint Stone has locked himself into the round of 8 now. So no matter what happens at Kansas, he will still have a slot in the round of 8. First of all, I want to thank all of the admins, Brian Nudie, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Devin Butchno, Stephen Blacks, and Sylvain Seagoin. Thank you to all of them for all that they do for this league. This league would not run as smoothly as it does without all of them. I want to thank, of course, Dev Sports Cars for being the title sponsor of the series. Make sure to check them out for, their services. Thank you to Butt Kicker, as always, for partnering with Intensity Broadcasting. Check out their website, thebuttkicker.com, and see what Butt Kicker product is right for you. And I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in to watch tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And lastly, make sure to check out our web store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. There we have merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, your favorite leagues, and all of your favorite drivers. We have Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, At Lewis Racing merchandise, a bunch of cool auto racing novelty t-shirts that you can purchase. We have Carson Hayslip Racing merchandise. And, of course, we have our SCSRA collection, where you can pick up some SCSRA bubble-free stickers, SCSRA photo paper poster, or an SCSRA t-shirt. I'm Atlee Atman, on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.